Welcome to another episode of Bill Has Opinions, the Gen X problem with the drinking show. I am Laura Lavoie, and I'm joined, as always, by Bill Perkins, who has opinions.
Yep.
That's what this show is all about.
I got them. Brought them with me.
Whether you want them or not.
Yeah.
There you go. This is Bill. He has opinions. So hey, how are you?
I'm doing quite okay today. Well, I've been suffering from a bit of a sinus infection or something because this is the thing that's annoying me right now is here. I guess it's actually like this most places. The weather, because it's March, it's like going back and forth, so it's just warm enough to make everything bloom, but then it's cold again, and I just kind of like if I got to deal with pollen, like I'd rather just be warm. I don't want it to be like, 17 degrees outside in the morning, and then also you have a sinus infection. And
get it over with, because if it stays warm, the pollen will just pollen.
It'll do its thing,
and then
it'll go up, but if it keeps doing this start-stop thing, then like things bloom at different rates, and I get to have 7 sinus infections in a row.
I've been having the same issue.
Oh my gosh. Anyway.
And in an era of COVID-19, it becomes more challenging,
right?
Yeah,
because you're like, should I test? Do I need a test? I don't know. I mean, I've only got 4 tests per household.
Oh, you can get 4 more now.
I know. I'm aware. I don't care. I'm tired of sticking shit. It just makes me sneeze more. Like, I already feel miserable. Like, I want to jam something up my sinuses.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going anywhere anyway. I don't.
Except here, next to me.
You're the only person I see in real life. I don't even go to work anymore.
That's fair. That's fair. But I have the same issue right now where I'm like, I wake up in the morning all congested and I'm like, am I dying? Do I have the COVID? And I do not.
I think another month from now I'll start worrying about it more. I'll like, okay, now we got the UK COVID.
Right.
We'll be here. But it's not here yet, so I'm not worried about it yet. I'll worry about it in a month. In April when I feel lousy, it'll be UK COVID coming over here.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so I actually do have some news.
Oh, do you?
News.
You do. I remember now.
I have important news. One of our most valuable viewers, one of our 2 current viewers, my beloved partner Matt, he just received the results and he passed the bar exam.
Yeah.
So yay! Round of applause.
I know if I'd have known, I'd have brought $1 over here to give him for my retainer. So. Then everything we say from now on will be like confidential.
So, and also tomorrow's my birthday. So, and you were just here this weekend.
Yeah, for your birthday party.
Yeah, I had a little get.
So I already told you happy birthday, but I'll tell you again, happy birthday.
And then you will message me tomorrow.
I'll tell you on Facebook tomorrow. Yeah, exactly.
Because it's not official unless it's Facebook official.
There you go.
So yes.
Although that being said, I did not tell my wife happy birthday on Facebook. I've told everybody else. I know a lot of people who are Arieses apparently.
So do I, but I think that's what's the term for it? There's a term for it. Where when you expect a thing, you see that thing all over the place.
Yeah, maybe.
There's a word for it. I used to know.
Some German word, probably.
Oh, confirmation bias.
Okay.
No, it's not German. It probably has German roots, but
it's confirmation bias, but with a K.
Yes. But yeah, so I know a lot of Aries, and including my partner Matt, whose birthday is on Saturday.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, anyway, I didn't tell my wife happy birthday on Facebook, and it wasn't as a slight. It was just, I wake up next to her.
Presumably, you saw her on her birthday.
Yes, exactly. So I was just like, but other people who I don't see in person on their birthday, I tell them happy birthday on Facebook. So. Anyway, happy birthday to all you Arieses who had a birthday this week or next week.
Happy birthday, Aries.
Yeah.
I think Aries are cool, so.
I guess I think they're okay. I hang out with enough of them, I don't know.
That's fair. In Atlanta, we had a little Aries club. For some reason, a bunch of us, we would get together, we would have like movie night, we'd make dinner and have movie night once a week. Uh-huh. And all of us were born between the end of March and the very beginning of April. All of us. Huh. So... We had just a little
fun
club.
Fact, supposedly Capricorns and Aries are supposed to be kind of...
They butt horns?
A little
because
bit.
They have the the horns.
I guess.
Oh, well, you seem to make it work. I have also been told by New Agey people that Aries plus Aries equals bad news.
Yeah, you're not supposed to like your sign either. Like that's a thing too. Right?
But I have been in a 27-year long relationship with another Aries, so I think we're doing okay.
There's a little, there's just a hair of bullshit involved in astrology.
As it turns out, just a little bit.
It might be a little bit of nonsense.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So normally at this point in the show, I ask you what you drinking.
Yeah.
And
at this point in the show, it's been a couple of things.
That's true. And we actually did pregame.
We can talk about that one because I did start with that one. That was the one I opened first earlier.
So I'm going to pour myself a little, but we might as well get into the actual.
I guess so. Yeah. We're going to be talking about beer the entire show tonight, so we don't really need to start with it.
Because So the show is about the new trends in session, light, low carb, low calorie beer. So,
or low alcohol or no alcohol.
Or no alcohol, yeah. So because there's a lot of stuff going on with it.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
And
so I'm gonna start monologue without you even asking.
Okay.
Okay, because if you'd have asked me 10, 15 years ago, what do you think about light beer? I'd have been like, well, if you're on a diet, beer is probably the last beverage you need to be interested in.
Probably true.
And I said that back when I didn't drink beer. Now, at my current age, also I wasn't much of a dieter when I was younger either. But now, once in a while, I find myself going, hey, you know what? I want to go pants size. Let's lose a few pounds, especially after COVID here. Because I got a combination of lazy and eating a lot of comfort foods at the beginning of COVID, like just going, hey,
Brad,
we
new viewer. Yeah. She's our neighbor up in Marshall. So
awesome. Yeah.
Yay.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Well, I'll mention this supernatural for no reason, just to make you happy.
But anyway, like COVID, I started eating like a lot of I'll just have tater tots or Tito's pizza rolls.
Right.
Some, I ate a lot of that kind of shit in the beginning.
I got an Eggo kick during the pandemic.
Oh my god, because they're soothing, right?
I haven't kicked it. Like I'm still all I want in the morning is
delicious,
Eggos.
Man. I mean, I'm with I ate a lot of chicken and waffles, like cooking Eggos and a couple of chicken tenders, and saying there's chicken and waffles.
There you go. That's dinner.
Well, that was breakfast, but
all right, or that. Either way.
But I ate a lot of that kind of shit. A lot of fucking frozen foods, I guess I would say, at the beginning of the pandemic, and I put on a few pounds, and anyway, so I was trying to take some pounds off here lately, and I've been on a diet, and initially my inclination was let's skip beer, but as it turns out, I actually like the taste of beer,
right?
And I crave a beer, and so and that was fine and dandy for a week or two, but then it's like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna want a beer now. And so I started looking around, like, what can I actually do, so that at least a couple times a week I can have a beer in the evening. And so I've been thinking about the whole thing, and then also, Matt had brought up, he started drinking some of these non-alcoholic beers, sometimes just as a pacer, kind of like
specifically while he was studying for the bar exam, right? Because you don't want to get wasted.
You don't want to get wasted, but you want the taste of a beer, or maybe you already have one beer and you want another beer, but you don't really want to get two in. So he would say he would mix it up, like you'd have a one alcoholic beer and then he'd have a non-alcoholic beer afterwards, and kind of still give you the feeling like you're drinking a beer, but you're not, or whatever. So anyway, there's a lot of trends going on, but that's my whole, what I'm looking for in it is I still want a beer sometimes, and it doesn't change the fact that I'm on a diet because I want a beer. So I just would maybe I don't need as heavy a beer. I don't need to drink a breakfast stout or some crap like that.
Exactly.
That's and they call it that because it could be breakfast, and not just any breakfast. It's like going to Cracker Barrel for breakfast.
Yeah, it's a meal. It's a full meal. 3,000
calories and all that. Anyway, so that's the whole thing with me and the low carb beers. I've been searching out these things, but then I don't just want. I'll say this caveat: most of your macros, most of your macro lagers are practically light beers, whether they say they are or not, and then they all make light versions also.
Right, exactly.
So there's that. If you don't give a fuck,
You don't care about
just go get a Michelob Ultra. Honestly, it's probably one of the lowest carb, lowest cal beers you can get. If that makes you happy, go drink that.
Right.
I'm looking for something with a little more flavor because that's what I'm used to.
Right.
So I was trying to find things that are like flavorful. So I'm looking for specifically, I'm going to be addressing craft beers that are making low carb beers. Like I said, with the acknowledgement up front, yes, you can buy low carb beers from any of the macro breweries in the country. Many of them have the word light in front of them. So there's that.
Exactly. Often spelled Lite.
Sometimes. Yes.
So I've been drinking a lot of these session or light beers lately, and my motivation is the low cal and low carb is a great addition. Like, that's a bonus. But that's not what I'm going for. Like, I'm trying to drink something that's lower than 5% alcohol.
Yeah.
Because I learned that, even if I just drink 1 or 2 beers at night, like if I were drinking 6% or 7 or 8% beers, I would feel like crap. And I still want the taste of the beer, but I just don't want the effects of the beer. So I've been going with some of these lighter beers, the session beers, for that reason.
Yeah.
And that also means if, we're out in the weekend and drinking with our neighbors, I could have 4 and probably not feel like butt.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah, there's a myriad of reasons one might want less carbs, less calories, or less alcohol in a beer. And so, it's great that now they're providing this for you.
Exactly.
With some flavor. So that's what we're trying to get at.
Yeah, so we're tasting a few.
Yes.
In our little tasters.
We've started with, and I had one of these earlier.
Yes, so this one.
This is actually a Shiner Bock. I've said in the past I don't love their regular beer. The Shiner Bock I don't like, but some of their seasonals I do like. And in the summertime you can get this Ruby Redbird, which it's kind of like it's a red grapefruit and ginger beer kind of. It tastes like ginger ale with a splash of red grapefruit juice in it. I don't even taste alcohol in it. And it's really easy to get messed up on these. But these guys, I bought this the other day because I was at the store and they were starting to advertise. They put this on the box like that. It's 95 calories and it's only 3.1 carbs
and only 4% alcohol.
And I said, well, shit. Okay, I already know that's a beer I like, so I'll buy that.
And they use Texas Ruby Red Grapefruit, so it's right on the can.
Oh yeah. I had no idea that they grew citrus fruit in Texas, but again, I don't live in Texas, so I would have no reason to know that.
That's fair. So I will admit this is not one of my favorites. It's not a bad beer. It's not a bad beer. It's just not one of my favorites.
But it's more like a ginger beer.
Yeah.
It's not like trying to be a beer,
And right, so I think I've talked about this on shows recently where, like, I'm tired of flavored beer. Like, I just want beer to taste beer flavored. I don't want red grapefruit. I don't want lavender. I don't want, honey. I just want it to taste like fucking beer.
Yeah.
And so it's not a bad beer. I've enjoyed drinking the small amount I poured. But it wouldn't be something I drink all the time. But
yeah, it's nice on a hot summer day. It's got a quenchy sort of thing, for a hot day. I don't know. I like them sometimes. I wouldn't be my regular go-to beer.
Yeah, but it's got a thing. And having the grapefruit and the ginger, it does give you something more than just like a Bud Light would give you.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, before we get into the rest of the beers, and we have a lot, folks.
Okay.
We have a lot of beers. I suppose we will say something about somebody, I guess.
Why not?
Since I'm wearing one of their T-shirts right now,
yeah, do that.
Let's do this. Geek Orthodox. I'm wearing their Lovecraft beer shirt, and that was quite on purpose.
Oh
yeah. They make custom and previously, already designed stained glass. You can get the stained glass in clings, so those are your budget option, or you can get the fancy stained glass, much like this one in the middle. That is one I own because they made a pretty stained glass of my cats.
Yeah.
So it's very lovely. But yeah, go to Geek Orthodox.
They do good work, and they also make T-shirts and socks and other
sundry.
Yeah, other stuff.
So yes, for the geeky art lover, like if you have a holiday or a birthday to shop for, this is a good place to visit.
Yeah, if you know an Aries, maybe.
Although you're running out of Aries time.
Yeah.
Aries time is half over now.
It's true.
Almost half
You
over.
move on.
You do need to find that Taurus gift for the Tauruses in your life.
It's almost time for Taurus gifts.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so that's some stuff we like. Actually, that's what we should call the segment. This is stuff we like.
Stuff we like.
Stuff we like, or people we like.
All right.
But we don't call it that right now. All right. So you brought another one.
Yeah.
This is Solo. Which is from Goose Island. Which was one of the first craft breweries that got bought by one of the big. Oh, there it goes.
I said to watch out.
I need help.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was worried about that.
Oh God. I need lots of towels. All the towels.
I was concerned. This might have got shook up on the truck.
Yeah, something's not right about that.
I opened one of these last night and it did this to me too.
Hello.
It was a nightmare. And I thought it was just because I had done some spirited driving between the grocery store and my house. But I think there might have been more to it than that. Like, I figured that they would have calmed down by now.
I don't think it got the computer. It's a good thing.
Yeah, no, it mostly got your tablecloth.
Well, the good news is that we can wash the tablecloth. Don't buy this, man.
I'll tell you,
do it.
You're going to get to drink about half of that.
Yeah, this is... I don't even know that there's any in it.
Well, it'll settle down. It's all going to be foam for a minute.
Woo! That is the most excitement we've had on the show in a while.
Right, you never know what to expect.
Can you get me another or a paper towel or something? Please.
Oh my goodness! Here, I'll give you some more now. It looks like it's starting to turn back to liquid.
Woo!
Actually, so aside from the volatility, which is akin to that of Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, jeez, this stuff is insane.
Do you ever notice that every time you open a Dr. Pepper 2-liter, like it always explodes? Like I just got where I open them up from the sink because I know they're going to explode. Like
I
always assume that the Dr. Pepper trucks just have like the hydraulics in them, like Snoop Dogg's car, you know, and they just bounce all the way to the grocery store. I don't know.
I would actually not at all recommend this beer whatsoever.
Based on the mess it made?
Do not.
If you want a half a can of beer, this is why it's low. This is why it's low cal. Because you're only going to drink half of it. The rest of it's going to wind up on the floor.
No kidding.
But
all right, we will do a thorough cleaning of this table after we're done.
Give it a taste and see what you think about the flavor.
I haven't even gotten that far yet.
Before you completely write it off based on its volatility.
Hold on, I moved the camera.
She's over here ruining the podcast.
Ruin everything. I think I would actually argue that somebody else ruined it. They brought this beer.
Okay, well.
Whew.
Good boy. That's the most excitement we've had in a podcast in a while.
My good, yes. So you are correct, Bryn. It's made of air. It is so light, it's made of air. It's not worth all that. That's what I'll tell you. It's a light ass beer.
Yeah.
It's a very light ass beer. So if you want light ass beer.
But it's a light IPA. So it's got more of a flavor than a lager.
It does.
It's got a little hoppy edge to it.
Many of our other light IPAs I think have a little more flavor than this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you on that. I'm just saying it had more flavor than I expected. Based on the can, based on how generic the can was.
Right.
Look at this. Like this just screams, I ain't got no flavor. I'm just beer in a can.
I'm just beer in a can.
While we're talking about beer in a can, I want to talk about this one for a minute, which I'm not going to drink. But I bought this a couple weeks ago. I bought a whole case of it on a whim. I had no idea even what it was. It's called Island Active, it's called. And it's got 88 calories and where's the car? Oh, 2 point something. I can't read that. Can you read that tiny print? Two something.
2.6 carbs.
2.6 carbs. It also tastes like.
Thank you.
It tastes like if there was a light version of PBR.
Yeah, exactly. Which is not what you need. You don't need a light version of PBR.
No, like I think you could drink a regular PBR and that'd count for a low carb beer, honestly. Anyway, I was curious, like, because nowhere on the can did it really say who made it, right? I mean, we looked and it didn't say on the can who makes this. It just
Right,
said,
yeah, we looked everywhere.
So we went and looked it up on the internet.
Island Life, I think is what it says.
And it says islandactive.com.
Island Active, that's it.
Yeah, which tells, okay, so nobody's even claiming this beer.
So,
but we went and looked it up.
Well, and before we looked it up, I saw this, which says it was Island Brands USA, Asheville, North Carolina, and Fort Collins, Colorado, which led us to a clue. Because there's only one brewery I know
Jinkies.
of. They would have gotten away with it if it weren't for us meddling kids.
Yeah.
But, so that gave us a clue. The only brewery we know of that has headquarters in Asheville and Fort Collins is New Belgium. So there's no New Belgium branding on this whatsoever. But it is, in fact, owned by New Belgium Brewery.
Yeah. So it's terrible. That's probably the worst thing I've ever had by New Belgium, I'll say.
We're not even going to try it on air.
No,
unless
I've already had it. I know it's bad. I can speak to it. It's terrible. Don't buy it. If you see it in the store, walk away. Like, you'd honestly, that's a case of you would be better off just not drinking a beer.
Mm-hmm.
I did put a squirt of lime in it the other day when I was making tacos, and it made it taste like then it kind of tasted like a Corona Light.
Right.
If that's what you want, you know.
Right.
But I don't even if I drink Mexican beer, I don't drink Mexican light beer because I feel like that's too far. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. All right. We actually, after we finish this, Jay,
we got some things to say about Voodoo
Ranger. This is a marvelous transition. Thank you for the segue. Oh geez, I gotta chug it. Oh god.
Do it. Chug. It's not like you're gonna get a buzz.
That's true. No, I'm actually I'm emotionally scarred from this beer. Like everything's wet.
Dare you open another beer?
Yeah.
What may befall you?
I know, but yeah, you brought another one of those in here, didn't you?
Yeah, but I'm not going to open it.
Don't open that.
No, I put it away. Oh, Matt put it away. I was like, it's not here anymore, so don't worry.
Yeah, I was looking around too. I'm like, where did it go? But Matt was proactive.
I don't need it. We weren't going to get to it. I've got a plethora of beers, I would say.
All right. Yes, I believe we're good.
Hefe, would you say I have a plethora of beers?
We definitely. God, I gotta keep chugging this.
Yeah.
So I don't like this enough to chug it. I'll tell you that.
You need to have a bucket you can just dump yours out in when you were like done tasting.
We need like at beer tastings where you get the water to swish and then.
Yeah, exactly. Like next time you set yourself up, get you a bucket and a thing of water here.
All right. So Jay, as you mentioned, should have put the Voodoo Ranger on it. So there's I don't know, what is it, a conspiracy? There's a mystery.
Yeah, we're trying to figure this Voodoo Ranger shit out.
Yeah, so New Belgium Brewery used to call their IPA Voodoo Ranger, and then all of a sudden they started calling all their IPAs Voodoo Ranger.
Yeah.
And that made sense. Like, I'm fine with it. It's their sub-brand. It's their IPAs.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, for no apparent reason, they started calling all kinds of random beers their Voodoo Ranger. So that brings us to the Voodoo Ranger Devilishly Light, right? Which is a light lager. It's actually the only lager we have on tap here. Tap. Can you
Crazy.
tap?
Crazy that a light beer show, we have one lager.
That's true. And actually, this is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite on this whole panel of beers. But more importantly, as we were looking at the other beer label and we were looking at this one, it's a cool beer. Like, it's a cool design. It does not mention, just like the other one, New Belgium at all. There's no New Belgium branding on this. So I think there's some sort of conspiracy that New Belgium is gonna like completely spin off the Voodoo Ranger and it's gonna become its own thing. I just don't know, like, it's part conspiracy because I don't know how that's going to happen.
We were also confused because a week or two ago we realized that they were making a new citrus beer that they didn't put under the Citradelic banner. They came up with a completely new citrus beer line.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's the
point? They already have a citrus beer line.
I'm like, what's the point of that shit? You've already got a citrus beer line called Citradelic that had several flavors. And now they came up with one called Citrus Rescue or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why? Why do you need two orange beers? You already got an orange beer, right?
That one? Yes, I agree. So there's something afoot. Afoot.
I don't know. Somebody's lost their gourd up there in the marketing department.
That may be true. So what I will say about this one, it is one of my favorite on this panel, and it's the only one that's a lager, but I think this is very drinkable.
Yes.
And so Devilishly Light Lager, it's 4.2% alcohol, 3 carbs, and 99.9 calories.
And I will say, while we're drinking this one, I want to say this is one of the other reasons one might consider a light beer if you weren't dieting or anything like that. Is maybe it's just a hot summer afternoon and you just mowed the grass or something, or maybe you're just looking to drink several beers today, hanging out with the bros in the yard. A light beer will allow you to smash, twice as many, perhaps.
This I would say is an equivalent to and a better version of most of your macro light beers.
Yeah, it's like if you wanted like natural light, but you wanted it to be good.
So I do.
And to that effect, actually, I've been saying for years. Well, actually, I guess I was saying Asheville needed a $2 beer.
Yes,
is what I would say.
I agree.
But they also need a light beer. Now, if somebody would just start making a cheap, like a $2, like a Peeber equivalent, but made locally by one of the craft breweries around here, I could get behind that too.
So there is High Wire Brewing, which we do not have, and I don't know, like its concept is like a PBR, but I don't know like what it is in terms of alcohol by volume or any of that. It's called Old North.
Yeah, I've had that one.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
It's good. It's
a good lawnmower beer. I definitely, and I would, if I was going to do another beer show this year, maybe I would do that. I'd have like during the summer we should do like a lawnmower beers.
Lawnmower beer. I've got a few lawnmower beers that
I definitely have some, and they're like the kinds of things that I normally wouldn't like gravitate to, but you find those hot summer days where you go, shit, this is a pretty good beer.
And I don't know that we've done a summer beer show before. We've done, because beer is, it's so seasonal. And we've done the fall beers, and we've done the winter beers. We've done spring beers. We did the spring beer episode a year ago, and now we're doing this. But I don't think we've done summer. And
we did it.
Yeah, I think we should. Tune in like July-ish.
Yeah, we'll put that on the calendar. Of course, by July you won't be able to buy anything except Oktoberfest at the store.
We have to start stocking up now.
Yes, we'll go ahead and purchase for that show.
Yes. But yeah, no, the Voodoo Ranger Devilishly Light Lager is truly one of my favorites. It's here.
Dare I say, devilishly good also.
Yeah. No, it's a good beer. It's a very good beer. So many, many, many years ago, when I was a wee lass, I did not like beer. I did not like beer until I was in my 30s. Like, I did not like beer at all. Beer was gross. Yeah. And I think part of it was like where I grew up, and like the teenagers would drink shitty beer, like Natty Light or whatever.
Yeah.
And even as I got older, even as I was actually legally able to drink beer, I was not the kid that drank beer. I was the good kid. I did not do crazy shit when I was a kid. Anyway, that's not part of the story.
But you never stole a street sign to hang up as decor.
No, I did not. But I did steal other small things.
No.
But and yes, beer. So when I was even when I was old enough to drink, like I remember going to Matt had a band in the 90s, early 2000s when we still lived in Michigan. And you are using a dump.
Yes, because otherwise I'm going to be so drunk.
Well, these are all like less than 4%.
I know, but we've got several more to go through.
That's true. Let's and I guess we probably should kick it up because we only have a half hour left.
All right.
But anyway, so I remember once I told a band member of Matt's when he offered me like a Bud Light, and I was like, "Oh no, beer, yucky." And
you want to dump that out?
Sure. I mean, it's a really good one, but I've also had.
Yeah, we got a lot of beer to drink.
We do. So
you said I'm sorry. What did you tell him?
I told him beer was yucky.
Yeah,
and then
it was.
Fast forward a few years later, we were at a brewery, like a real craft brewery, and I was drinking a beer, and he's like, "I thought beer yucky," and I'm like, "No, good beer, yummy."
Yeah, that was because that was Rolling Rock, and like it was yucky.
Oh Jesus!
Oh gosh, you got another one of those.
Jeez, what is wrong with people? I saved this one before it got out of control, but my God. Apparently nobody knows how to can a fucking beer.
Yeah.
All right, so before I actually...
This is all Scott in the stock room.
Yeah.
He's just back there like.
This is a craft brewery out of Charlotte,
yeah.
Noda Brewing, and this is their Solo Haze thing. So you had one on Saturday,
Yeah.
and it was your first beer when you got here, and you said it wasn't so bad. But then I had one yesterday, and I thought it was the most disgusting thing I'd ever tasted.
Now I'm curious.
So
taste this and tell me, is it the most?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if maybe it was a bad can or something.
Could have been. Let's see. What do you think? It's still out?
No, I do not like that.
You don't
No, do not. Oh, don't drink that, people. Do not drink that one. Oh, God, that's terrible.
That does taste pretty awful. Now that you mention it. I mean,
You drank a whole one on Saturday.
I don't know if it tastes like that or not.
Yeah, that's the question. Did they go bad somehow? I don't know.
I see what you're saying. So it tastes like a Fresca.
It's got a really bad aftertaste.
It tastes like Fresca, doesn't it?
It's got a real
Like,
skunky aftertaste.
it's got a kind of a citrusy, but also too carbonated.
Yeah.
Kind of thing going.
It's terrible.
And look at all the fizz I just dumped it out.
Yeah, that's fair. So
Yeah.
it is 4.3% alcohol, 3 carbs, and 95 calories.
Yeah, I don't want this in the glass. It's gonna make the next one bad.
That's fair. That's reasonable.
All right.
We're gonna fix this
Yeah.
right up, people.
That was not a good one.
We
Or
do
at least I don't know. Like I've had good beers from Noda before.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't want to talk shit about them.
Their pumpkin is.
Yeah, they make some good stuff, but
that
that
was
ain't one of
not one of them.
I guess.
All right, here's one I know is good. I drank one of these before the show.
Yeah.
Don't you do it.
Don't you dare.
Don't you dare. So this is Sweetwater, which is a brewery out of Atlanta. It was one of the first craft breweries I really drank their beer after I learned to like beer. It is their low-cal easy IPA, and specifically, it's 4% alcohol, 100 calories, and 5 carbs.
Yeah, it seems like the 95 to 100 calories is like the target for a lot of these. I see beers that advertise it. If beers don't advertise how many carbs and how many calories they are on them, I guess they don't qualify really for this. Well, there's a few that do, but
there's a couple.
But it's hard. It's because it's hard to get that information without them posting it on the can.
Yeah.
Beer Advocate and Untappd don't. Like, they tell you ABV and stuff like that, but they don't really post like how many carbs or how many calories a beer is. So it unless the brewery themselves, and this is funny because I went to the bottle shop. I was telling you before the show, I went to the bottle shop on Sunday to buy some light beers, and I walked in and the guy said, "Hey, is there something I can help you with?" And I say, "Yeah, I'm looking for beers, like under 5 carbs." And he goes, "Oh, they don't post that on anything I have."
Right.
And I said, "Oh, well, if they had it, if they had it, they would post it." Because I noticed that the things that feel like this is a thing to lead with, they tend to tell you. But anyway, I mean, there's a few that skirt the lines, but the ones that are that low usually will say.
Right. So one thing I do want to say about this before we move on to the next one, Sweetwater is sort of known for being the Stoner's beer brand, right? Their flagship is 420, which is in and of itself basically a session. It's not very high. But this is actually, so a lot of the things they do, they make with like kind of a marijuana theme. And this does say that it's an IPA with sticky hop hash to keep the hop chop high, calories low, and the ABV mellow. So I don't exactly know what hop hash is, other than it seems like that's sort of a reference to the drugs. It's got to mean something else.
I'm sure there's probably a process involved.
A process of hop hash. Somebody knows what that means.
Yeah.
Post it in the comments. But it is crisp, crushable, and the highlight of your day.
How about that?
But it is. I actually agree. I've always liked Sweetwater beer because we lived in Atlanta for so long, and I do think it's just a good drinkable beer. 5 carbs is within your range.
I like to keep it. Yeah, 5 and less. I feel like is actually like your target with these with this stuff. There's a few. I was reading a couple of articles about low carb beer, and there's a few that like were between like 6 and 8. I felt like that was kind of like, yeah, okay, but you're kind of skirting it there, like
right. And we are
like,
about to cross a threshold in our examples here.
Sure.
Soon.
Okay.
In moments. But
yeah, this is a good one. It's very this one's pretty hoppy. I gotta say, like, as a person who doesn't really particularly care for hops.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't normally like IPAs, but a lot of these kind of crushable, low-cal, low-carb beers are IPAs right now.
It's crazy that they are. I was telling her before the show that I thought for sure, like, it's easier, I would think, to make a lager a light, right? Because I have to just water it down a little bit.
And I think it is. I think it actually is easier.
But I guess the idea with these craft breweries is they're like, well, we're trying to make a light that has a flavor.
Right.
So we're going to go a different route. Instead of just taking a lager and watering it down, we're gonna make something else. And so a lot of times that's going to be an IPA or something.
Exactly. All right, so we're going to move on here. This is a brand new beer here in Asheville. Highland Brewing is our oldest local brewery, and this is their Lower Falls. It's brand new. They aren't, you can buy it at their brewery or a couple of stores around town, but they call it Bright and Easy. It's the Lower Falls IPA. So I will tell you, I know it's 3.9% alcohol, so it's really more of a session. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I looked everywhere
to find the
carbs or the calories. I could not find it anywhere.
See, that's what I'm saying. Unless it's posted specifically on the product, it's impossible almost to find this information somewhere else. So yeah,
but give it a little taste.
It's a mystery.
It is a mystery, but it is at the very least, it's a session.
It's probably less than 8,
mm-hmm.
but it might not be within the threshold of what I would consider a light beer.
Now, I think this is freaking delicious. I don't know, the hops that they use might be more than you would enjoy. It does have a citrusy flavor.
So I don't hate this one. It's got a crispness. Actually, there were several also speaking of, there were several things that weren't listed as light beers that were actually brute IPAs.
Yeah.
That wound up under the carb limit for this.
Because they're dry and they're.
Yeah. And this actually kind of reminds me of a brute in a way. It's very clear.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a very crisp kind of. So it's not called that, but it has the same sort of flavor as a brute.
And Heather, the invitation is always open. Come down and we'll go hang out at Highlands and we will drink the light beer.
Yes.
I find this very delicious. I like this.
It is fairly powerful. It's got the kind of hops that like aren't terribly offensive to me. It's not too piney tasting. That's the one that I don't care for.
Oh yeah, I love piney hops, but I get that.
I know you do.
I get why that's not a thing most people would drink. Like, why am I drinking trees?
Yeah.
I don't want to drink trees.
Yeah. So sometimes this one's okay. I could see knocking that back. It's fine.
Yeah. But again, I don't know. I think so a session IPA is a term that's used for just lower alcohol, crushable, drink in an afternoon kind of beer. And with it being 3.9, it's not even as high as some of the other sessions. So it's a good one to have when you're just throwing back.
My guess is actually it's probably less than 8 carbs if I was to have to guess based on that alcohol content. When I compare it to other things that we've looked at.
Right. Yeah, because it is. So rule of thumb is the lower the alcohol, the
lower the
carbs and calories.
Yeah,
because the alcohol is part of what gets you.
Exactly, the alcohol adds carbs and calories.
Yeah.
So if you get something that's less than 5%, it's closer to your diet than not. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of a thing I've been doing when I go somewhere. Like in one of my wife's restaurant. That's not listed up there on the board. It just says what the ABV is. So I just picked the lowest ABV lager up there and go, okay, I'll drink that.
Yeah, exactly. And yes, we all want you to come visit. The invitation is literally open forever. Any day you just say, I'm coming down on Tuesday. We're going to be like, that's great.
Yeah, we'll make plans.
We will do it. All right. So we have crossed the threshold with that beer. I had kind of vaguely arranged them in like lower to higher carbs. So we've got some of them. I think these would be more considered sessions because the carbs are not even listed. It's hard to find. So,
Wait.
that one does.
I was going to say this.
It does. We'll get there.
Wait, this one has the calories. It doesn't have the carbs.
I know the carbs. I got you. But first, we're going to do the lighthearted.
All right.
So this is Bell's is one of my favorite breweries. They're out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. Wait, where are they? Are they out of where? Where are they out of? Hold on. Oh, geez. There should be much smoother transition.
Right.
Where are they from? Where are they from? So yes, Bell's Brewery out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, and lighthearted. So they've got a higher gravity IPA called Two Hearted, and this is like their low cal version. They just does say low cal IPA on it, but I do like this one very much.
You should call it half-hearted.
They should, but it's really lighthearted. But so lighthearted is 3.7 alcohol. And 8.7 carbs, so it definitely falls over your list. But 110 calories. So if you're looking to count calories and not carbs, you can still fit this one.
I don't like this one at all.
No?
This has got this one's like
it's got the pininess you don't like?
Yes, it's got that thing that I don't like in IPAs. So,
I like
which I should have guessed because any of the other hearted IPAs, I feel like would you grab me another towel? Any of the other products from Bell's that are in their IPA catalog, I hate. That being said, there's some things about Bell's I really like too, so I'm not trying to like completely shit on Bell's.
And we may be about to taste one of the things, or at least similar to what you actually like.
Exactly, because I love Oberon, which is their weedy, whatever.
Right.
Weedy wheat beer.
Weedy wheat beer. It's their weedy wheat beer.
It also has an orangey flavor. I don't know. It's
got an orange. It's a weird. So Oberon, I tried to get some for last week's show because it was Oberon Day, but I couldn't. Actually, I got this by accident.
Yeah.
But Oberon is their. It's not like a traditional wheat beer like the German wheat beers. It has it's a uniquely American beer, and it is their. Yes, it is. Who farted? No, farted. Exactly. You're funny. But anyway.
It's funny because I started to make that joke myself. I ain't no back, but I'm glad you made that joke. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you. Low Sun is their low cal wheat ale, so it's meant to be the low cal Oberon, which by the way, they missed a naming opportunity instead of calling it Sun.
Loberon?
Loberon.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
You're right. Like that.
Why would you do that?
These people need to hire us for marketing.
They really do.
Because, I don't know what the hell people over New Belgium are doing. No,
I definitely don't know that. But so this one it's 4% alcohol. It is 7.5 carbs and also 110 calories.
7.5
carbs, yeah.
Okay, and they consider that low.
Well, no, they don't advertise them a low carb. It's just low
calorie. Okay, yeah. So low can mean a lot of things. It's kind of like it's like when people tell you something is like. Do you remember there was a bit on The Simpsons one time where they had this thing called Eco something or other, and they bought it. It was supposed to be like what was it? It was like a way to kill bugs or something, and they bought it because they thought it was like eco-friendly, but it turns out it was the the economical way to kill bugs or something.
The cheap way.
Yeah.
So Heather, I appreciate you looking it up. I had the same problem, and part of me wonders if the reason there's no carb info on lower.
Because you don't want to know.
Well, it's also brand new. Like it just came out 2 weeks ago, so. Maybe they just haven't published it yet.
Is there do you think is there a machine you can pour a beer into and it'll like the back computer and it'll run the numbers and figure out what the carbs are?
If you go this one's so new, like from some of the other ones where you don't have carb information, like if you go to Weight Watchers, somebody crunch those
that's
numbers.
what I found. I found this thing called MyFitnessPal.
Yeah,
sometimes would tell you what the carbs in a beer were that wasn't listed. But it was hit and miss. Like it didn't have every beer. It had beers that people had specifically. And then where do they get the info from? Is what I want to know. Like, did they make this shit up? Did they run?
Sometimes they
did. They run it through the back computer? Like that's what I want to know. Like how do they know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the people that enter it on MyFitnessPal do not send it to a lab.
I bet you they don't.
They make it the fuck up. I
So, yeah.
see that.
But that was one of the 3 leads I ran into sometimes when I was looking for this information. I spent a lot of time yesterday on the internet while I was trying to buy beer. I mean, I basically wasted the time of the person at the bottle shop, because
Right?
I came in there to buy nothing they had.
Right.
But I still stood there for a half hour flipping through my phone going, nope, okay, never mind, fuck it, see you later.
So I find Low Sun to be absolutely delicious. I would knock this back. And again, my motivation is not carbs.
Sure,
so
yeah, but if you were trying to cut carbs, I wouldn't recommend it.
No, but it's lower calorie. It's still 110.
I guess it's lower carbs in a sense.
Mm.
It's probably low. Like it's not like I bet you an Oberon probably has more carbs than this.
Oh God, for sure. I don't know what it is. I'm sure.
But it tastes like an Oberon tastes like a fucking orange pancake. So it's gonna have more carbs than that, right?
Right. But I think that this is because we got it by accident. It was a happy accident because it wasn't what we were expecting. We were actually trying to get regular Oberon. So
it's all right. I'm gonna let you talk about this one by yourself.
I
know I'm not gonna like it.
You should at least have a tiny taste.
You think a tiny taste?
All right. So this one, this is literally just a tack on.
Okay.
Because this is truly a session IPA. This is not trying to be low calorie, low carb, or anything. Oh look, there's a math calculation. If you go to renegadebrewing.com/carbohydrates and beer. Thank you, librarian.
Thank you for doing the research.
That's why we have librarians.
That's why we keep you on staff.
So, All Day IPA from Founders, which is also in Michigan. This is truly, they literally call it a session IPA. It's just meant to be crushable. It's just meant to be, something you can drink because it's lower alcohol. It's not intended to be a diet beer. It is 4.7% alcohol, and it is 12 carbs and 140 calories.
Oh, you did find the carbs for it.
I did.
Okay, well.
I did. So try just a little taste. I don't think you'll like it. I agree. But just try it anyway because you're here and that's what we're doing.
Why not? Okay. I will do that.
So this one is probably, we get this one very often just to have a.
Yeah.
No. I think it's delicious. But again, like I've been saying, all I want are like beer flavored beers, and frankly, IPAs qualify.
You think? Okay, see, to me, a beer flavored beer is a Kolsch.
Mm.
Like that's the beerest beer flavor there is.
That's probably true, but
I actually see myself in like I've noticed like as we like age through this whole craft beer thing, like that as time goes on, I tend to enjoy myself. Like the things the flavors I'm starting to like are just like a standard fucking like Pilsner Urquell.
Like German or Belgian.
Yeah,
like it's not even Belgian.
Just a straight ass fucking German or Belgian lager with no frills. I don't want no fucking coriander. Yeah. I don't want no orange. I don't want cinnamon and vanilla.
You want it to adhere to the German purity law. So
kinda
the German purity
I'm sort
law.
of getting there.
Yeah, German purity law means the only thing that's in the beer is malt and water and hops, but they have to be the noble hops, which are the hops that are in like all the waters.
There's peasant hops,
right? And there's one other ingredient that I don't remember. But
grain.
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember
you
what it is.
You gotta have grain.
It is 4 things.
You gotta have some kind of grain.
Well, the malt is grain.
What? Malt's grain?
Yeah, it's malted grain. Like it gets malted. That's what grain is. Or that's what malt is. Anyway, yeah.
I always thought malt was a separate thing.
No, it is.
I thought that was like the yeasty thing.
Oh, yeast is the other thing. So malt and yeast, yes.
There's the other guy.
No.
You gotta have yeast.
The other way around.
Nothing.
Malt is the grains. Yeast is the yeast.
All right. I never knew what. Okay. Malt's the yeast.
Yeah, but it's malted.
Malt's the grain and the yeast.
Yeah, but the grain has to be malted.
Rhythm is the bass and the bass is the treble.
Exactly. All right, so I'm going to hand this over to you, this soggy-ass paper over to you.
Yeah, do it.
Because you have a bunch of notes.
I had a bunch of notes real quick.
On other beers.
All right, here's some things. I read several articles yesterday on light beers that were craft light beers. And here were the ones that I consolidated down. I took out the ones that were regionals And here's the ones that I like. These are brands I see at the grocery store. So if you're looking for this kind of thing, Brooklyn Stonewall, which I thought was a nice nod. Like Brooklyn Brewery,
yeah, that's very good.
Stonewall, which is
yeah.
where the
right,
gay rights movement started. Yeah. Which made I have my thing with Brooklyn because I found out that Jared Kushner apparently owns some stock in Brooklyn Brewery, and I quit drinking because of that. But this kind of makes me go, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, they're 3.5 carbs, 95 calories. Lagunitas Daytime, 3 carbs, 98 calories.
Lagunitas is a good brewery, and they make some real high gravity stuff.
I'm not gonna like that one. I can take it by the.
No, but I do.
I've never liked anything about Lagunitas, but Dogfish Head, Slightly Mighty,
which is also super fucking hoppy.
Okay, IPA. It's an IPA. It's 3.5 carbs, 95 calories. Ballast Point Lager. I would try this one because I like some of the Ballast Point stuff. 3.5.
It's a lager.
3.5 carbs, 99 calories. That sounds good to me. Mission Ultimate Light Golden Ale. 5 carbs, 99 calories. This one's also gluten-free for anybody out there who that's a thing for.
Right.
Shiner also, in addition to the Ruby Red, has a light blonde, 3.8 carbs and 99 calories. The Omegon Brute IPA, 9.3 carbs, 140 calories. Kona Blonde, 4 carbs.
Which is a Hawaiian brand, although they're owned by one of the macro breweries now.
Yeah, I can find it at any grocery store.
Yeah.
Kona Blonde, 4 carbs, 99 calories. Deschutes out of Oregon. The beer is called Deschutes.
Yeah, so it's Deschutes. Deschutes. You have to see it. It's a visual pun.
Yeah, it's spelled differently.
Bless you.
Sorry. Yeah, the allergies.
Welcome to the allergies.
Whatnot, yeah. 4.2 carbs and 99 calories. Allagash Saison. Sorry, 4.8 carbs, 183 calories. The Sufferfest Repeat Kolsch is 5 carbs and 95 calories. Now, Sufferfest, I want to stop for a minute. It's called Sufferfest because I think it's owned by women and it's about suffrage or something like that. I think that's but they make a couple of low carb beers, and they also and diet beers. And they also make some non-alcoholic.
A lot of non-alcoholic.
Okay.
And frankly, I do not enjoy their non-alcoholic beers.
I wouldn't say that I've actually enjoyed, because I've actually had this one before. I think I bought it at the Ingles down in South Carolina one time because it said it was lower, and I was like, okay, I'll try it. It was okay.
So
not great.
Real quick though, we're not going to open this, but non-alcoholic I think is a fair assessment of low carb, low calorie beer.
Sure.
This is Athletic Brewing. This is their IPA. They have stouts. They have all kinds of things. They're non-alcoholic, and like we said earlier in the show, Matt bought a bunch of these so he wasn't like wasted during bar prep.
Yeah.
And
sometimes you just want to taste a beer, and that happens to me. Like sometimes I just want to taste. Like I don't even care. I'm not even trying to drink to like get drunk. I would just like the taste of a beer.
Just want the taste.
I wrote down 2 here that I saw on these lists that I'd like to try, but I couldn't find anywhere. One of these is Devil's Backbone, which is a brewery out of
Virginia.
Yeah, southwestern Virginia, which is not too far from here. And I have found this. I mean, I've actually been to this brewery, to the actual brewery.
Trip. We could do a remote show.
Yeah, I've actually been to the brewery before, and I've actually I bought their beers locally.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen this one yet. But they've got a Bright Tangerine. It's 2 carbs and 90 calories. That's like the lightest fucking beer.
Yeah, 2 carbs, man. That's
not even a beer.
I'm concerned about the flavor, to be honest.
Well, it tastes like tangerine.
Yeah, if it tastes mostly like
I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna drink 7 of them.
It would be more like this. Yeah. Where it tastes more like the fruit than it does the beer.
Whatever, but I can drink 7 of them,
fine.
and I won't feel the least bit bad about myself. This other one, I don't know what this is. This was a regional or something.
Jack's Abbey.
Jack's Abbey.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
I don't know where that's out of, but they have a blood orange wheat. This is actually kind of stretching it because it's 8 carbs and 130 calories. I said that's bordering on too many carbs. That was my note. But it sounds like a beer I'd like either way.
Sure.
So
I have the hiccups.
Because I do like orange wheat beers. That's a thing I'm into.
I grabbed the notes back from
you. You got some things to say? What was it?
No,
you some notes there at the end too. What was that about?
Oh, that was all the beers we just drank.
Oh, okay.
But no, just to close the show because we're almost done.
Oh shit.
But yeah, so I guess the moral of the story is the shows that we are the beers that we drank at the beginning of the show are more of the truly low-cal, low-carb diet beers.
Yeah.
And the ones we got to at the end of the show are more sessions, which are just low alcohol. So depending on what you want, you can use this show as a reference.
You know what? I dare anybody to drink this glass.
Oh, God, no.
Of mixed.
Well, there are only 3 people in this house, and it ain't going to be me. So
I'll ask Matt if he wants to drink it. It's a mix of a lot of things.
It's not good. I guarantee, including the nasty one.
It's got all of them. It's got all of them mixed together.
God,
it's a what do they call it in wines? A blend.
A blend.
It's a blend.
Yes. There's a word for that. So because I do tiki cocktail things, and a lot of people, I can't remember what they call it, but like when they get down to like the dregs of the bottom of a rum, they'll marry them, and so they get a whole new rum out of it. And it's called something. There's a word for it that I can't remember.
It's just you mix all your
mix
all your rum bottles together.
The very last bits of your rum, and you end up with a whole new kind of rum that nobody has but you, because it's just all the...
I could see doing that with tequilas or any similar liquor that you have, like where you run out.
Yeah, there's a term for it, and I should remember it because I'm on all the tiki boards, but I don't do that.
Well,
and I definitely don't do that with beer. Although I will tell you, I was at a party once, and for some reason, I was already drunk when I got to the party because I was really socially anxious and I did not want to be at this party. But part of the reason when I got there, I would have a glass of beer, and then the beer would be down to here, and I would pour more beer. And it wasn't the same beer.
Oh, God.
I was drinking, I don't even know what I was drinking by the end of that night. And I was fucked up. Do not recommend that. It was not a good scene. It was not a good scene.
It doesn't sound like a good scene.
No, it was not. Do not do that. I was a lot younger then, like a lot younger. And very socially anxious about this particular party. Yeah. So I learned that this is not how you deal with mental illness.
Yeah.
Is drink a lot and mix random beers together.
Yeah.
Do not do that.
Don't mix the
random
Get
therapy.
Beers. Yeah.
It's cheaper. It's actually not cheaper, but it's much better. All right.
Okay.
We are mailbag. We don't have any mailbag.
No mailbag.
We kind of have a mailbag. We'll talk about that in a second.
Well, it came up in conversation.
So no mailbag, but we do have things that are extra, which is kind of a mailbag because one of our regular viewers kind of shared this with us.
Yeah, well, Jay had mentioned to me that he was getting some targeted ads from some sort of Dr. Squatch soap. And after he mentioned it, then I started noticing how many times I got targeted ads about these very masculine soap companies or beard oil companies or whatever. And they're all like, hey, do you want to smell manly? You should try our particular soap, which smells like pine tar and gunpowder, and
whiskey and leather,
motor oil and whatever, and so it's
manly sense.
It's manly sense, you don't want to be some soy boy like Beta Cook smelling like lavender. Like, that's not going to get you laid. Here's what you want.
Which is weirdly, that was somebody's actual marketing. Like, it was like, don't be a beta. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
This is crazy. Actually, I got targeted by one company that was called the Sudsy Bear. And I told you I actually reached out to them. I actually went to their website. And the reason was because, like, I was trying to, like, Sudsy Bear. Like, are they trying to sound masculine? Because to me, when I hear bear, I immediately think, that's a burly gay man.
Right.
And so I went to their website and actually, like, there was one of those little chat windows over in the corner. So I was like, hey, is this a soap for a man's man? And they were like, indeed. And I was like, okay, so, like, are all the Cubs at the at the bar gonna go for this? And they were like, they will. And I was like, oh, okay.
The Otters.
I was like, okay, so these guys know what the fuck they're talking. Okay. Oh. Cool. All right, very well. But
So Jay, I hear you. So it was a Batman soap specifically, and I do not disagree with you.
Sweat and latex.
Yeah, as somebody, I'm sitting next to somebody who does Batman cosplay a lot, and there's no way. because you're just drenched in your own sweat for hours and hours and hours.
It smells like justice.
Exactly. Which brings us to another point of this conversation, right? So women typically, our scents are things. You can smell like roses or lavender or baby powder. Men's stuff, it smells like concepts. So it's like, I can smell like wolf thorn. What the fuck is wolf thorn?
Right.
Or we were joking, like, I smell like freedom. Like, so for once we have an actual visual aid here as we close out the show. So this, let's start with this. This is a eucalyptus and spearmint stress relief soap from Bath & Body Works. This is a eucalyptus and mint soap from a man soap company.
Everyman Jack.
Everyman Jack. So it's got the wood grain. They're essentially the same scent. They have a little bit different. Essentially the same scent, but this is for ladies and this is for men.
Yeah.
And the funny part is we do really like these soaps. Matt likes this one. I like this one. So I smell like a man because I use the man soap. But
yeah, I've actually got an idea for some of these manly soaps that they haven't come out with yet. I want one called 70s Dad, and it smells like Natty Light and motor oil,
cigarette smoke.
It's the back of my dad's Monte Carlo back from when I was a kid. That's what it smells like. Yeah. That would be the manliest thing I can think of, because 70s dads, let me tell you something. 70s dads, this was the great thing about 70s dads, when they had to watch the kids for 10 minutes, they were babysitting.
Yeah. Well, I know
'Cause-
some 90s and 2000s dads would still say that.
My dad would give me a swig of beer to calm my ass down, because that's how 70s dads worked.
Yeah.
You know? So anyway, that's one of the flavors that I would put out of soap if I was going to be a manly soap maker.
Fair.
I
I think the smell of natural gas and typewriter tape.
Okay.
That's the smell of man to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I get it, because your dad liked to type. He was
an accountant.
He was an accountant.
He was an indoor man.
Right.
He was not an outdoor
man.
Yeah.
I mean, just a hair of cedar siding.
Yeah.
Or
exactly.
cedar paneling in
yes.
the office.
Much like the paneling behind us that we have since painted.
There you go.
Which I assume was installed here in the 70s at some point.
Yeah.
The house is much older than that.
But it's just funny to me that they've managed to tie these stupid things to like I said, fragile masculinity. Like, oh, I'm so scared that people are going to think I'm a homosexual because I clean my asshole with lavender or whatever.
Right. I mean, there's
to,
a whole.
To be honest, I clean my asshole with Dr. Bonner's mint because it leaves it minty fresh.
It makes your hoo-hoo tingle.
It does.
Shout out to Celia.
You know that shit's clean because you can feel it.
Right. Yes, you do. You're like, I am now clean. There is nothing not clean about me.
And then there was a whole sub thing we were talking about where apparently some dudes think that even to clean your asshole makes you gay.
Yeah, this is apparently a thing, and I didn't know it was a thing until the internet, right?
Yeah.
And apparently a bunch of women, young women who just get married, so presumably this has happened for time immemorial.
Yeah.
But
probably
the man that they married and did not live with prior to marriage.
That's what you get.
Yeah, I agree.
Kick the tires, folks.
They don't physically wash their butt because they think putting your hand anywhere near your asshole makes you gay. Or anything near your asshole makes you gay.
Yeah, apparently toilet paper.
Come on. Yeah, exactly. So apparently there are a bunch of men who are just
stinky, smelly,
disgusting.
And which begs the question on this whole manly soap thing. If you really want to smell manly, why don't you just eschew the idea of soap altogether and reek of your own fucking bodily fluids? Because that's the real alpha male right there.
Yeah, that apparently is the method of a fair number of convention goers.
Yes.
Man, you could convention, people make fun of convention folks because we often, prior to the actual conventions, are like, please remember to shower. But a surprising number of people just don't.
Yeah.
And you're like, I was in a panel once with this guy, and he was in front of me, and oh my God, he stank to high heaven. And I was like, and he was with like other people, and I'm like, why don't you say something?
Yeah.
This man smells terrible. Yes, I agree, Heather. Good men smell like clean soap and kindness.
And justice.
And please, and also, as we'll close the show on this, please wash your butts. We all want nice, clean butts. All right, that is a fine point to end the show. Will you take us away, Bill?
Sure thing. Bill Has Opinions is engineered, produced by Laura Lavoie. The opinions of Bill are his and his alone, unless Laura agreed with him, in which case they both thought that thing, and vice versa. Be sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and leave us comments and ask a question, and maybe it'll wind up in a mailbag. You can email us if you can find our email address. It's out there somewhere. I don't know. Tell everybody about us, because, more viewers is great. We love the viewers we have, but we'd like to have more. And
we had a new viewer today, though.
We did have a new viewer, and I appreciate the heck out of you.
We're very glad for it.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Join us again next week, same bat time.
Yes, and I don't remember the topic. I sometimes do.
Oh, gosh, yeah, we forgot now.
I forgot to look.
Oh, well.
I don't remember.
It'll be a surprise.
Yeah, so tune in to find out what the episode's about. All right, everybody, we will see you in a week. Have a good one.
All right.
Bye.